Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video I'd like to talk about renting rooms in UK and particularly in London. So first of all I'd like to mention that you can rent with contract or without contract. Even if you rent with contract, you have to keep in mind that it's just paper, and you always need to be vigilant because London is a city of scammers, and you need to be very careful when you're signing contracts regarding real estate. So you can rent also. If you want to rent, you can find an agency or you can try to find it yourself. So if you choose to find some property yourself, you can do it without agencies, but most probably you'll find it that somebody wants to rent it without contract, so they will not sign any contract. And what are the advantages and disadvantages of this method, of this kind of renting? So an advantage is that you don't need to pay any fees for these agencies, because sometimes they can charge quite high for finding you an apartment. So this is an advantage. And disadvantage is that you don't have any rights to this property if you rent without a contract and if you rent without a contract. Of course you can find somebody without agency with a contract, but it's much more often that people who avoid these agencies, they find rent that somebody wants to rent them this apartment without a contract. So the main danger of this kind of renting is that you don't have any rights for this property. So basically this landlord, this owner of this property, can come to a house, change locks, and when you come there you might not find your belongings there. I heard many stories like this. People were just kicked out on the street without any notification, just because there is no contract. They can't prove that they rent there or they used to live there. And yes, that's it happens very often. So basically, of course, you can come, you can challenge these owners, you can threaten them and so on, but the law will not protect you at all. And the other way is to find an agency, pay them these agency fees, and rent an apartment. But still you need to be very vigilant, because there are many of these fake agencies who are just scammers, and they just make fake contracts. Or, very important, what do I mean when I say that there are many scammers, many frauds in these cities? Because they can sell you that this apartment, say that it's very fine, but if you don't read your contract very carefully, you might find later that there are many clauses or sub-clauses which say that you need to pay some fees, some charges if you leave it earlier, if you decide to leave this apartment after 6 months and not 12 months, and so on. So there are many penalty fees, and of course if you rent without a contract, there are no these fees, nothing is there. So that is the advantage of renting without a contract. But when you rent without a contract, as I said, some Afghan or Pakistani can say you that you agreed to rent with them for 6 months and you want to move right now. And of course you can argue with them about this holding fee, or how it's called, deposits. They might not return this deposit, so you need to fight with them about this case. And even if you have this contract, you need to be vigilant what's written there. And yeah, just take your time, call to different places, choose the right location, because there are so many shitty locations in this city which cost too much, and the quality of these apartments is just awful. They just want to sell it for you as quick as possible, and I've never seen such awful apartments even in Eastern Europe. Nobody lives in such places, because in this city, in this London, there are so many immigrants, and maybe that's the case, and it's really very crowded. So these are basic things for newcomers, for those who come to this city. Just, as I said, be vigilant, because when they see that you're a newcomer, they might want to scam you, and this is very common in this city. So be prepared to defend your rights. Hope that helps. Hope you find this video useful. Talk to you next time. Bye.